now, transferred to film or television here, and you've been living with this much longer than anybody in this room. What's your take on it? Are you proud of it, or is this something that, that is different than what you did originally, or?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's definitely different. I want to make the joke that I'm sick of it. I've been working on it for 8 years, and now it's this big TV show, and I'm talking about it constantly. But I really do love it, and it's, just gratifying to see, all the talented people up here just kind of be respectful of what I've been doing with the comic and, turn it into such a great television show. I mean, when you're having your material adapted, you try to have as much control as you can, and you try to pick the people that you think are going to do the best job. But I don't think that, you ever really know how things are going to turn out, and there is a very big leap of faith involved in allowing this kind of thing. And I'm happy to say that I feel like every step that was made on this process was the right step, and I couldn't be happier with the outcome.
And you've been writing this obviously all along, so there's years and years and years of stories. Do you want to see this go on like as long as?
I keep telling Mr. Lincoln here, get ready, we're going to go 20 seasons. We're going to be doing
We're going to beat the Simpsons.
We'll be bumping zombies out with a cane.
What's your creative relationship like with Frank here, and how you develop the stories, and in terms of you, Frank, how you can take off from what he started here and take it where you want to take it to?
Oh gosh, well, it starts with the first step of writing that pilot, and then finding the additional layers of things that I want to work into it. It's always a matter of trying to fuse my sensibilities into that which I am adapting. And then of course, if it's an ongoing something or other, then it winds up being what we have done all week this week, which is sit in the room with some fantastic writers that would come on board. In fact, I see one of them there in his sweater vest. Scott, where is he?
Take a bow, Scott. Stand up and wave to no, stand up. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Stand tall.
Give him your resume. He's hiding. So you're writing now. You started the second season.
Do we have any of the other writers here tonight?
We don't care. Sit down.
Angela's here. Oh, anyway. Well,
Angela.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
Hey! Stand up. If we're really here to stand up, you have to stand up. Here we go. Would anyone else like to take a bow?
We've been in the room since Monday, since I got over the worst of this cold, I'm not quite over yet. And we've been talking story. Glenn Mazzara is our showrunner. He wrote episode 5 last year, and came back on a full-time basis this year. And we've all been sitting around the table and talking about the characters and talking about the overall arc of the season, and throwing every possible idea onto the table and trying to define who these people are and where we want to see them and how we want to, where we want to take them, how we want to get them there. And all those conversations are tremendously exciting and needed, fantastically pumped. We had Andy and Sarah visit us today independently to talk about their characters to us and exchange ideas with them. We have the others in, next week, hopefully. And this is the fun part. This is when all things are possible, and you're taking that block of clay and you're trying to shape it into an elephant. Cut away whatever's not the elephant, and hopefully you have a cool thing. And the ideas that we're generating get me very excited, as you can see.
Now, Andy, you just mentioned that you came in the room, and you told me before that, and that's kind of unusual. I mean, and having this input with the actors is a great thing creatively.
It is. It's a real privilege, but working with Frank and Gail and the team has been like that from the off. It's felt very collaborative and a very exciting space to work in. And the material. It's so funny because I've been selling zombies for quite a long time.
Around the world.
And zombies, for sure. Zombies.
Venom cheap.
It's true. And just getting into the room and remembering what we really do for so exciting, and the care and attention to character, and all of the characters, it was so exciting, as Frank said today. It was amazing.
And the way your character arc already in 6 episodes, as you can see, he's a pretty straight guy when he starts, and now there's all kinds of shades of gray with this stuff.
Yeah, and I just think that the poison, the change, there's nothing more exciting than playing a conflicted character, and I think that all of these characters, that's the great thing that the struggling when we're working on it, is they've all got such extraordinary conflicting ideas, and the extremities of the situation make the emotions so close to the surface. And I think that that's what makes it so exciting working on this, is that it's so volatile and exciting. And as we said before, visceral.
Yeah. And it's going to be interesting too, because there's a whole kind of triangle thing going
There
here.
is a small matter of my best friend sleeping with my wife.
Yes. Yeah. Which, you know, is not your actual life.
Yeah.
That's
small.
Sarah, can you talk about that? You being right in the middle of this, right here, and literally in the show.
I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about.
Come on, Tia.
Well, you know, it was interesting. I did an interview with a member of the French press a couple of days ago. We had a very interesting conversation about the ways in which the show is received somewhat differently in different territories around the world. Because, you know, I've had some interviews with press, and I've had some interactions with fans here that have been less than charitable towards the good Miss Grimes, and I've had words and invective hurled at me that I certainly didn't expect at the time. Fun! And
That's my wife.
he made me do it.
Tell them about the action figure that you can take the picture. That was your joke.
I get an action figure out of this, which is my greatest professional ambition. And my friend's response to this was, "What? She's got removable pants." I don't know. But anyway, the point is with this, you know, this French interview was very different because he's like, "Oh, you did what anybody would do in your situation." And it was interesting because I think our reaction to these stories tells us a lot as viewers about what it is we're willing to accept in ourselves. And I think what's interesting as a character is I'm playing a woman who doesn't recognize herself anymore. And the gap between the person that Lori would have said she was and the person she's become is growing so fast that she can't even catch up with it. And that's really interesting because it means that in the few moments of calm that may exist in the course of this story, for Lori to go, what am I going to do? Who am I? What are my touchstones? The answers are blank because I have no template for this. My mom didn't raise me to figure this one out, and I don't have elders to turn to, and I don't have models. And so these are people who are living so improvisationally and so as such strangers to themselves. And it's a great, it's never boring. You know, it's a great joy to play. Joy is a weird word for that.
It sure is a blaster